Heroku. So I'll be and side by side I also conduct sessions. I also work as freelancer. So the agenda for today's meeting is what I'll be covering in the session and how it will be benefit to you. So
Okay.
I just have I got a presentation of 10 to 12 slides. I will just cover it.
Okay. Atul,
Yes.
before going to this session, may I know exactly, I mean, I know that about Amazon Web Services, but there are a lot of different, a number of things inside the Amazon Web Services. So basically, what sort of roles are there in Amazon Web Services? I mean to say AWS administrator or AWS developer or any technical thing or something like, there will be different types of roles in every tool or everything, whatever you take. So with your training, so what sort of roles we can go ahead and perform, and basically what does it cover, and coming to the part of Amazon, I mean the roles which exactly the Amazon web services would take place, like a developer or a something like a administrator, maybe it might be some technical people involved in that, and so functional, and there are different things, right? So I'm not sure what sort of roles are there exactly. So can you tell those things before going to the training part, and next you go ahead with your training stuff?
Yeah. The thing is that when we say cloud computing, so as you know, Amazon Web Services is one of the cloud provider, and when we say cloud computing, a cloud provider provides you with a set of services or products or solution which we require in a typical software development. For example, if you are launching any commercial application, for example, you take any shopping website or you take any banking website, so there are typical softwares which we require in developing and maintaining and deploying the application. Basically, we require hardware and software. So when we say hardware, we require computers or we require servers to run your application, to keep your application running 24 by 7 by 365. Then we require softwares. We require softwares like databases, we require software to develop them. We require software to keep your application running 24 by 7 by 365. Then we require other services like networking, security, securing your resources as well as your application. Then we also require auto scaling and high availability. Auto scaling means if your application is running on say one server, and if millions of users connect to that server, then obviously that server is going to break. So you need to automatically launch multiple or those number of servers which can handle low load. So all these services we require in a typical application development, deploying the application to the production environment and to maintain it. So whichever role you are performing, you require all these things. So I'll be covering all the typical things which we require in typical software development. So software development life cycle.
Okay. So so I mean, what type of roles we could perform? Hello, Atul. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Hello, Barry. Atul?
Yeah, can you hear me, Atul?
No, this is Shekhar. I can hear
Ah,
you, but
Shekhar, yeah.
yeah, Atul is in offline. Yeah, yeah, I got
Okay.
a call from him. Let me talk. Yeah. Hello, Arun, Barry. Atul is joining. Uh,
Yes, Shikha.
if
Okay.
you're getting problem in the internet somehow, he's joining in.
Okay. Yeah.
Functional. Uh, so, what would be the roles? Just want to know. I know that everybody will not be into the different all the things, but I'm curious to know about the things.
Yeah, so whether you are developer or you are architect or you are from support team like DevOps, so for all the roles, this session will be useful. I'll be covering all those services of AWS, which are different roles or different people or different teams will use. I will covering all the roles.
Oh, okay, I got you. My question is like, if I go through online and if I check it, I found that something JSON or some language will be there which we need to, in case of any development part of Amazon, we are going to write some code on JSON and develop the things, or as per according to my knowledge, like Amazon is providing everything, so just our part is to configure and manage the things and everything, or any role will be there in the, uh, any role would be there in the job environment where we need to sometimes we need to write some JSON scripts or something to make or functionality. Is there any necessity there, or everything is provided by Amazon and we could do everything? So that part where the development is there only, it is for AWS Amazon company only will deal with the developers part.
Mhm.
So you got
So
my question, Atul?
yeah, yeah, I got your question. You can control Amazon uh, through three ways. Either you can use their website or you can use their SDKs. So as you pointed out, the SDK is available in various languages. Like it's available in Java, it's available in JavaScript, it's available in Node.js. It's available in Ruby, PHP, Perl, Python. Most of the languages which are used in the IT industry now, so they have got SDKs for each of the language. If you know, for example, Perl, so you can use your Perl knowledge to control AWS SDK. If you know Java, so you can use Java to control.
So why actually the thing, the main motto of Amazon is to give the service to the company in a easy way. Why, I mean, is there really a necessity to write some Python or some Ruby or something and do, I mean, to enable these things, or we can do it graphically by the use of the GUI provided by Amazon, we can make it?
Actually, the thing is that when you work on cloud, you need to automate things. For example, say a simple task, a simple task of deploying an application. To deploy an application, you have got application A, and to deploy that application, you require some Windows server, you require one database, and you require a couple of other things. So you can do these things by by clicking also on the Amazon portal. You log into the portal, you launch one virtual server, you create one database, then you secure your application. You can do these things by clicking from their UI, but that manual task you can automate using the SDKs like Perl and Python. So if you use that SDKs, so instead of launching your application say in 20 or 30 clicks, you can just launch your application within one click or within one command. So that is the benefit of using SDKs. So most of the time, if you most of the times we will use the SDKs.
So you mean to say like, I mean, this is a part like if it is, I mean, if we need to do any, if we need to create anything, so instead of doing every time the same thing, if there is a code written in Python or something, we can make it and ask it to repeat many number of times.
Yes, you are right.
Okay, so I got you.
Yeah.
So if we, I mean, so to how much extent we should be, I mean, we should gain knowledge in such a way that we can write these scripts for AWS?
Yeah. Basically, as I told you, so if you are working on a cloud, you should first understand the whole software development life cycle. First,
Okay.
and when we say a product life cycle, so what I mean is that suppose if you start one company and if you are launching one big or small application for say a banking application, so what you will need, you will require hardware, you will require computers, you will require Windows or Linux servers, then you will require networking, then you will require security, then you will require databases. So all these things which we require in a typical software development life cycle, you should know all these things at least at some higher level. For example, networking. So what is networking? You should know some, at least at some higher level, not very deep level, at some higher level. You should know what is IP addresses and you should know what is net and subnets. You should know this at a very high level because when you are working on cloud, you need to configure these networks.
Mm-hmm.
You should know this at a very higher level because if you are working on cloud, a cloud provides these services. If you are working on AWS, then in AWS there is something called as virtual private cloud. So in that private cloud, you have to tell Amazon Web Services, here I'll be launching say 100 servers, and 100 servers will be in public domains. Public domain means 50 servers will be accessible from internet, 25 servers will not be accessible. So you are defining your network topology. So you should have little understanding of networking. Then you should have a little understanding of security. Then you should have a little understanding of auto scaling and high availability. So all these things which we require in typical software development, you should have some higher level understanding. And after understanding those things, you should know how Amazon Web using what you should know AWS. Means using AWS, how can I achieve that working? So this is the thing.
Okay. So I think Azure is a different part of thing, right? It is not relevant. I mean, it is a different product of a different vendor, Microsoft, right?
Yes, right. Yes, right.
So what is a major? I think you will cover. I don't know. What is a major difference between both of them? I guess AWS is most popular in the current world. So
Yeah, right. Yeah. So in the commercial provider, there are 5 to 6 players. One of them is AWS. One of them is Microsoft Azure. Then we have got OpenStack. Then we have got Heroku. Then there is DigitalOcean also. But Amazon Web Services is one of the oldest, biggest, and cheapest cloud provider in the world. I think it was started way back in 2007 when people even they didn't know what is cloud computing.
okay.
It is one of the cheapest, most flexible, and it is having it provides services not only for your hardware but also software. I mean all those things which you require in a typical software company or
Yeah.
and all
So it is basically serving infrastructure as a service.
yeah. That no infrastructure as well as platform also. Means it
Okay.
provides it provides you with lots of software also, not only with hardware. Normally, when we say cloud providers, so they provide with your hardware, but Amazon provides you with lots of a software layer above their hardware layer. For
Right.
example,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
have got,
I got you.
for example, take example, if you have got simple banking application, and if you want to send some email, so Amazon has got services for sending email also. You just call a service, and rest of the things like configuring your email server, all those things are done by them. So all the typical activities which we require in software, they provide those things also.
So, so in future, so we can expect an application directly, even the, I mean, everything over the cloud, right?
Yeah, means people normally what they do is that
Except our browser terminal, everything will be going into the cloud, right?
exactly. Instead of maintaining your own server, say for example, if you plan to start a company tomorrow, and then instead of purchasing the servers, instead of purchasing the hardware and software on your in your own office and installing them on your own server, you just take an internet connection, purchase a computer of some basic configuration, and connect to AWS through internet, and just deploy your application to AWS. Rest everything will be managed by AWS.
Okay, I got you. One more question, Atul. This
Mhm.
AWS is there, and you know VMware, right? VMware. So VMware is completely into the virtualization part, right? So
Yes, right.
so they were into virtualization, and these people were into AWS, were into cloud computing, and so does VMware support these people in any way? Amazon Web Services, or Amazon is having their own virtual thing, virtualization concepts, and everything at their back end.
Yeah, that I'm not sure what Amazon is using at their backend, but what I know is that when we say cloud computing, so cloud computing means virtual servers, and when we say virtual server, virtualization comes into picture. So they may be using VMware, that I'm not sure, but virtualization is the basis or foundation of cloud computing. Whenever we say cloud computing, we get a virtual server, but I'm not sure what AWS is using at their backend.
Okay, so they are. I think they are. They have their own. I mean, privacy regarding this, right?
Privacy means
They don't reveal what they were using at the back end. I mean, see, I mean,
yeah,
what sort of hardware they were using, or what sort of their disks they were using, and only the parties we can view by the portal. We can view what are the options they give to us, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's fine.
Even in yeah, even like in means like in cloud computing, we have got multiple players. Even in virtualization, we have got two three players. So VMware is one of them, one of the players for virtualization. But yes, whenever we say cloud computing, virtualization comes into picture. That is as a user of cloud, that is transparent to us. There is no need for us to know at backend what they are using or how does virtualization work. If you know, it is better, but not necessary.
Okay, I got you.
Because in even in virtualization, there is a different complete role like virtualization expert.
Yeah, there will
Uh,
be separate rules for them as well.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, you can proceed with the slides, Atul.
Yeah, sure. So is my desktop visible?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So the agenda for today's session is what are things I'll be covering in my session.
Okay.
Okay. So just to give some idea, the session is this session is targeted to beginners. If someone doesn't know what is cloud computing and how to use AWS, so this session is for those. The session is for you to getting started.
Okay.
The intended audience is new users or people who are planning to make their career in cloud computing but don't know what is cloud computing and what is AWS. So keeping these people in mind, I will start with very basics. What is cloud computing and why do people use cloud computing? What is its benefit? Then I will also share with you a couple of use cases or a couple of projects, not actually projects, but use cases in the last 3 years, which I have used in my career. So that I will share with you. So you will get a more clear idea what is the benefit of cloud computing and why people are moving to cloud computing. So the training will make you proficient in using the computing, storage, networking databases, identity and access management services of AWS. So these things you require in typical software development. Whichever software you are launching or if you are running in a software company, you will require all these things, default things. So I'll
So,
be covering.
Atul, did you get a chance to work on this role? Like, actually, the traditional systems, the traditional part of the servers were on the, they were staying on servers, right? Not on cloud. So,
Hmm.
have you got a chance to work on moving the applications from the servers to the cloud environment?
Yeah, yeah, I got that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because nowadays more and more, most of the startup companies they are using cloud. So instead of purchasing their own hardware and software, they are moving to cloud. And from day one only, they deploy their application to cloud. So this is one use case. The second use case is that those people who are already those people who are there in the market for say last 10 or 15 years, and they are having their application running in their own premise on their own servers. They are also migrating that application from their own computers to cloud. So these are the two areas where cloud business comes. Either you migrate your old companies are migrating their application to cloud, and new companies start from day one to cloud.
Okay.
Yeah. So typically the migration work there is a lot of migration work means old applications moving to cloud.
So I think the migration would be done in the out of business hours, right?
Out of business hours means
If the suppose if actually the if there is a if some servers and some databases are very crucial and they are running, so you can't move them into the cloud environment at the same time. I think we need to take some time for that.
No, what we do is the migration part will be parallel. So it will not hamper your existing servers. So this will be you will keep your application running on your own server, and side by side you will migrate this application to your cloud. And when the migration is over, you did some basic testing. You know
So
that.
do we mean to say, like, do we replicate that part of the servers and keep it on the cloud?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. So whatever things like I'm saying, whatever things like computers, networking, storage, you are using on your own premise, same things you replicate on cloud.
Okay, the major part is like we replicate and which we have to configure, I think, the IP addresses
Right,
and
right,
whatever,
exactly.
I think the middle things, everything, because the server has to go up and it has to function as it was doing before, like on the traditional servers, right?
Right,
It is
exactly.
a big challenging task, I think so, right?
Yeah, it's a very big task because first thing is that you should know the architecture of existing application. Some are very simple. They have just got database and all those things. Some are very simple, but some are very complex. And normally, as you know, if some application is say 8 or 10 years old, it is not possible to have a person who knows everything about their application because the teams keep on changing. People come and go. Some team develops this thing, some team develop that thing. And so first you should try to understand the architecture of existing application. Then only you can migrate that to cloud. So that is the trickier part.
Yeah, got you. But I think it's very, I mean, very complicated things because
Very good.
but
Yeah, yeah.
everything you are doing, everything, something will go wrong, and again you have to go and check the root cause for that, and it is like
Yeah.
it is never-ending story, I guess. It takes a long time.
Uh, No, it will not take. It means it depend. It will depend on your complexity of your application. Means the more quickly you take the knowledge of existing application architecture, the more quickly you will be able to migrate it to cloud. Because once you know the architecture, and if you know the AWS products and services, you just need to map those things to AWS products and services. So that's it.
Okay. So I guess they will prepare a blueprint before what they can do. I mean, what they were going to
Yeah.
do, right?
Yeah. Normally this blueprint is done by cloud architectures. So they define the architecture. If I'm migrating this application to cloud, then what all services of AWS I'll be using and how I'll be using those. So this task is done by cloud architects, and developers will just execute or implement that architecture.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
you can continue with your part. I think you are explaining some topics you are about to start.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So this session is for beginners. So I'll be covering the first thing I'll be covering is that what is cloud computing. Cloud computing introduction at a very higher level. So you should know what is cloud computing, why are people moving to cloud computing, and the basis of cloud computing, that is virtualization. So I'll be covering this thing, what is cloud computing. Then after you know what is cloud computing, I will be showing you how to open an account on AWS. So this is very important. If you want to use AWS, the first thing you should do is you should open an account for AWS. For opening an account on AWS, you either require a, debit card or a credit card. So that is mandatory. or if you don't have these things, someone should, if you don't have a debit or credit card, then someone having an account on AWS should add you as a user in his account so that you can use AWS. So I'll be telling you how to open an account on AWS. Then once you open the account on AWS, I will just go on the AWS portal and just tell you how to use that portal. So after we know how to use the AWS portal, I will cover at a very higher level what all services are given by AWS and the purpose and functionality of each of the service or products. Means AWS got lot many services, but typically we don't require all the services. In a typical software development life cycle, we require very few services. But I'll be just telling you one or two sentences each of the solutions of AWS. So after that, I will move to AWS Management Console. Means after you open the account on AWS, you should log in, and after you log in, AWS will show you its management console. It is like your account, and inside account you will see all the services of AWS which you are using. For example, if you have launched say 10 servers, so the console will show you that you have launched 10 servers. So I will be showing you how to use the management console, SDKs and command line. So this SDK and command line I will be not covering in detail because it will take lot much time. I will be having some separate session for SDKs and command line, but I will just tell you at a very higher level how to use them. Then regions and availability zone. So as you know, AWS is a global player in cloud computing, and it has got data centers spread throughout the world. It has got data centers in Europe, Asia Pacific, South America, Europe. I will be covering those things. How to use regions and availability zones. For example, if you launch one virtual server in the AWS, so you can select in which region you want that server to be running. You can select Europe or Asia Pacific, or you can select South America. So as a best practice, you should launch a server which is close to your customer. For example, if your most of the customers are from USA, then you should launch your server in USA so that they will get a higher speed to access your application. If your customers are from Asia, then you can launch your server in say Singapore data center, or a data center which is close to Asia. So this is in regions and availability zones. Then I'll be covering IAM. This is identity and access management. So using this service of AWS, you can create multiple users in your account. Once you open an account on AWS, you as a owner can add multiple users to your account. Say you can add developers, you can add testers, you can add support teams, and after adding the users, you can say that my developer
So, so Atul, it's like you mean to say like a roles? I mean, development part people will be given as a specific roles, and we will keep all to. I mean, we will group them together and we will give some permissions to them.
yes, right.
Just like in the database, we give permissions to users, and we will be deleting some of the orphan users and the same stuff.
Yeah, same stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can say that these users can access only this service of AWS. You can control their access to your account or an AWS resources.
Okay.
Okay. Then after so this IAM, EC2, S3, these are all the services given by AWS. As I told you, whatever things we require in typical software development lifecycle, like security is covered in IAM. Then if you want to launch servers, then that is covered in EC2. EC2 means Elastic Compute Cloud. So using this EC2 service, of AWS, you can launch virtual servers. You can launch Windows as well as Linux or Unix servers. And while launching the servers, you can select their configuration. If you want some higher configuration, like you want high RAM or high CPU, or if you want 32-bit or 64-bit machine. So using the EC2 service, you can launch the server. The EC2 service is the most widely used service of AWS. So doesn't matter which role you are performing, but you should know EC2. Whether you are a support or
So
developer or
it is like a basic thing. I mean, basic server.
basic.
EC2 is a basic server.
Yeah,
So if you want
basic.
any, if we need any, I mean, uh, high capacity servers or I mean, that support very huge applications, then I think definitely we need to go for some other services, right?
No, 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 not some of the services. In EC2, everything is covered. In EC2, you can select whether you want lower configuration or you want higher configuration. EC2 means launching virtual servers. It is the
Okay,
only server.
so
Yeah.
we have options to upgrade or degrade. I mean, depending on our
Yes.
requirement, we can make it, right?
Yeah, right. So you just go to EC2, and from EC2 there is a wizard with the one big wizard, and in the wizard first step you select you want whether Windows or Linux and Linux, Unix and Windows. Then you select the configuration. Then you select other things like so you select it's a very flexible service. You can select the whole configuration.
Okay.
Yeah. EC2 means hardware. You can select using this you can launch virtual servers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then after the hardware means after EC2 we have got S3. S3 means simple storage service. So storage means you can store files or objects on S3. For example, if you are having an application or if you are having a website, so in that website you may be having some static pages, or you may be having some videos, or you may be having some pictures. So all these files or objects you can store on S3, simple storage service. This is
So
S3.
why can't we do on that EC2? We can store on the servers as well, right?
Yeah, you can store on the server also. The thing is that S3 has got something called as content delivery network. For example, say for example, if you have got a web application and you deploy that application in the US region, and somebody from India, say Mumbai or Delhi, accesses your application, then what will happen is that if they go to your application, then the things like videos and pictures, they will be
Yeah, they
download.
have very latency and the speed will be very less, I guess.
Yeah, so first time the first time the user will access your application, the speed will be less because all these resources, pictures, videos, and images, they will be downloaded from original server from the US. But once it is downloaded from the US region, they will be cached in the Mumbai region, in the Mumbai, say Mumbai data center, or you can say Mumbai content delivery network. So this is where S3 comes into picture. This service is provided by S3, not by EC2. So you have got option either to store them on EC2, or you can have option to store them on S3.
So S3 has future, like it will make things very simpler and makes us I mean the applications to perform very effectively, you mean to say, right?
Yeah, they will increase your speed. They will cache, caching. They will cache
Yes.
S3 will cache your resources.
So how I mean at the back end how does it work, like, so it will bring the data from the US servers to the India data center, and then it will try to fire that application, or is that the way it works, S3?
Uh, Yeah, for the first time, if you are a new user,
Mm-hmm.
for the first time, it will bring the resources from your data center, original data center, to the browser for the first time.
So virtual data center to the nearest data center, and it will give us, I mean, it will show us in a effective way, right?
Yeah, yeah. For the first time, the speed will be less. But if the same user accesses the application next time, then it will be very faster because all those things are already downloaded. It will just cache them
Oh,
from the
okay.
next.
It's already in the cache memory, so it will be
Yeah,
very
yeah,
effectively going on. Okay, I
yeah.
got you.
So your user will get a, good speed. So this thing is there in S3 content simple storage service.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay, then we have got RDS. RDS means using this service, you can launch databases. Normally means for any application you require database. Database is means there is no application without database, so you will require database. So using RDS, you can launch a relational database. There is one more service called as MySQL. DynamoDB. So using DynamoDB, you can create non-relational databases. I hope you know what is relational database.
Yeah, relational database, I know. Yes.
Yeah. So typically there are two types of databases in the world. One is relational, the other is NoSQL. So using AWS, you can create both type of database instance, relational as well as NoSQL. So I'll be covering those things. Then we have got something as AMI. So these things you will not understand now. I will cover this during the session. Then after you, this IAM, EC2, S3, RDS and IAM, they come into picture for developing the application. And once you develop the application, you have got tools to deploy your application. So I will be covering those tools. So cloud formation is one of those tools using which you can automate your application deployment. And after you deploy your application, the remaining things are you watch them, means you monitor them. So that is covered in cloud.
So I have a question, Atul. So
Mhm.
what do you mean by deployment in this part, in this area?
Yeah, deployment. Okay, so you have got say version one of your application running on production. So you know what is production environment? No?
Yes, yes, I know.
Yeah. So suppose if you have got one application running on your production, say version one, and meantime you are adding some features to it, and that will be covered in version V2. So obviously, and suppose this suppose this adding these features may take 3 or 6 months depending on the features complexity. So once this feature is developed, or once your version 2 is completed, you need to deploy version 2 your production, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean that deployment. Once a new version or something new is available, you need to deploy that to production. So I'm saying that deployment.
So this is a tool. A CloudWatch is a tool, or how? What is that?
Yeah, it's a tool. It's a service tool. So using this tool,
Okay.
you can watch your deployment. So
Okay,
using
I
this
mean
cloud.
we can track the version, so which version is running like that, or we can I mean uh, like we can get that removed the version one, and we can instead of that replace the version two.
No, 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 no. See, okay. So this CloudWatch will not help you to deploy your application. CloudWatch will help you to watch your application resources. For example,
Okay, monitor,
if
just monitoring, just like monitoring.
monitoring CloudWatch, monitoring. And using CloudFormation, it's a deployment tool. Using CloudFormation, you can deploy your tool. You can automate your cloud application deployment using the CloudFormation.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a deployment tool for formation and cloud was a monitoring tool.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so after you deploy your application and monitor it, then there is something called as auto scaling and high availability. So I'll be covering these things also. means how to make your application available 24/7/365, and how to auto scale them. So
So
it
you
will,
mean auto scaling is like it is a future we can enable that so that if the application, if there is a huge traffic on a specific application, then the resources would be enhanced in such a way that that the server could cope up.
yeah, right, you are right.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have got SNS. So basically, SNS is used inside your application. For example, if you want to send some notifications. For example, if you want to send email or if you want to send SMSs, so using this SNS
So it's
service.
like SMTP, like it will automatically trigger the email if anything, if you want to configure something.
Yeah,
Say
yeah,
like
right,
suppose
exactly.
the volume is reached some 100 MB, fire a message to some email ID or
Mm.
something.
Yeah, you
Does it
can.
the same thing?
Yeah, yeah, same thing.
Okay. So what is that SN? What is the full name? SNS?
Simple notification service.
Notification. Okay, notification. Just like our Windows notification, it will also give Amazon services. Amazon services. It will give the notifications.
Yeah, no, it will not give you automatically. You will have to tell it. It
We
will
have
not
to
give you.
configure. Yeah, we have to configure manually
Yeah,
to
yeah,
say
yeah,
that
yeah.
you have reached your volume or you have reached your exceeded your limits or something like that.
Right, right, right. Either you configure it manually or you do it through code like Perl, Python, or these things.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I think everybody, I don't know whether how, I don't know how it works, right? So in mostly in your environment, so are you managing it using the console or are you trying to use some commands or some Python code or something to make this automate?
Yeah, I'm using Python. I'm using code, not Python code, some other language. I use Ruby and Java and JavaScript and Node.js. So I use code.
Okay, so why there is a need for code instead of why Amazon is already it was giving us uh, every tool like instances inside that. I mean, like S3 RDS. You were saying many things are there, right? So uh, why can't we manage without writing a code?
No, because as we said in the starting of the session, using the code you can automate the repeated tasks.
But if you are, I understand. But if you are
Mm.
very really poor in coding part, see, I mean,
Mm.
see, not everybody is very much good at coding part. So that is why I'm very much keen in asking those questions.
No, yeah, frankly speaking, if you want to make a career in cloud computing, then you should know one language. Okay, just hold
At
on.
least one of the scripting language, right?
Yeah, just hold on. I will just share the prerequisite for. I got one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've just noted some prerequisite for the session, because if you don't have this prerequisite, everything will just go from home. Means you will not understand the things, and you will not be able to use cloud computing. So the first thing is that one should have very basic understanding of virtualization. Very basic understanding, not very detailed, just basic understanding of virtualization. What is the benefit of virtualization and major players, nothing else. Then you should have knowledge of any one of the languages below, like Java, .NET, Node.js, PHP, Python, Ruby, Go, and C++. Any one of the languages will do. Then you should have knowledge of scripting on Windows and Linux. So I think on
Okay.
Windows we use, on Linux we have
PowerShell.
got shell scripting and all. Yeah, yeah, PowerShell will do.
Windows PowerShell. Okay.
Yeah, PowerShell will do, and on Linux any will do, Corn shell or anything will do. Then you should
Bash,
have,
KSH.
yeah, anything will do. Then you should have some knowledge, if you means if you are going to make your career in mobility, then AWS has got SDKs in mobile also, like it has got SDKs for Android and iOS. So if you know this, that will be better if you are going to make your career in mobility, or if you are working in a company which is in mobile application, then if you know this thing, it will be better. Then you should have some higher level knowledge of networking, like IP addresses,
So IP
subnet.
address, subnetting, and I mean,
Yeah,
VLSM, those things.
yeah, those things. You should know at a higher level.
So is it like, I mean, up to the mark of CCNA, level to CCNA is enough?
That deep is not required. So that deep is not required. But if you have that deep knowledge, better.
Okay.
Yeah, because okay, because so what happens is that when you are using cloud computing, basically, if you go to any software company or any software firm, they have got some different network team which handles networking. You don't have to bother what is networking and what is IP address. You just access the machine. But when you move to cloud computing as a developer, everything has to be managed by you. So you should know all these things. This is the difference between normal traditional roles and cloud computing role. So you should know all the things at a very higher level. If you know that deep, if you know that at deep level, it is better. But you should have some higher level understanding of all the things,
Okay.
networking, storage, all those things. Then you
Mm.
should have some, yeah. Then you should have some basic knowledge of three-tier applications. For example, whenever we make any application, there are three layers to it, like application server, database server, UI, and all those things. So you should have this knowledge of
What is a
applications.
UIR front-end server? What is that? I never came across with that.
Mm, UI means your
I know your user interface, I know that, but what is the front-end server? Will there be any front-end server? I don't know about front-end server, that's why.
no, front end and UI are same.
Yeah,
Front end and UI are same.
okay,
Yeah, somebody call some people call it UI, some people call it front end, but they refer to both the same thing.
okay, I know. Because I don't know whether any front-end servers are there, but I know application server, I think Tomcat, Apache Tomcat is there, right?
Okay. So yeah, yeah.
I have
Uh,
knowledge because from BTech we know these things.
So maybe I think this front end and appearance server are same thing. Let me recheck this.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Understanding
you should.
relational and NoSQL databases. So I think I know I'm aware of relational databases, but nowadays really I don't know about much about NoSQL databases. I can see a lot of things like Cassandra and something Reg IT. Some
Mhm.
new things were going on in the market. I don't know about them.
Yeah, now
So
actually, yeah, nowadays mean NoSQL is a very hot topic. People are using NoSQL very heavily now.
what is the major difference between relational and NoSQL database? What is the major do you think?
Let
Speed
me,
wise it is good or
yeah,
effectively, what is the major?
yeah, speed wise, they are saying that NoSQL is much faster than relational database, speed wise.
But my intention is people are trying to fool them because why? Because relational databases, if you go and see, everything is there is nothing in open source. Everything is in a company owned product. No SQL, everything is open source. So instead of bearing that money, they are giving much publicity towards that open source. I guess I'm not sure, but it's my opinion.
No, no. Can you just repeat what I didn't got you?
See, relational databases, we have many MySQL, SQL Server, lot of things are there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are owned by Microsoft or Oracle or some XO ABC companies. So
Mm-hmm.
they are all, I think they definitely charge some money on these products.
Yeah,
So
right.
with these NoSQL, there is nothing. These are all open source, right? They are not and they are not owned by any particular vendor
Yeah,
who
right.
charges money. So I think the publicity is much. They are giving much publicity towards this open NoSQL, I think.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. Now, even in relational database, we have got some open source like MySQL is open source. We have got MySQL. We have got what? I'm not getting the name. Even in relational, there are
But I
couple of.
think I am not sure if I am wrong or not. I think
Mhm.
Oracle acquired that MySQL, right?
No, no, no.
So before it
MySQL
was
is
free. It was free. I used to try that before years ago, but now I think they are owned by Oracle. That product.
MySQL. No, no, no. It's still free. I've just used last week. It's still free.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine.
MySQL is MySQL is still free, and there are also a couple of two or three relational open source, which are more faster and flexible than commercial databases, and they are free and open source.
Okay, so what is the main motto of a NoSQL database and why they were giving much importance to nowadays?
No, they are saying that it's faster. Then how is it faster? That I'm not sure, but they are saying it's much faster than relational
So
databases.
is it like Hadoop also comes under NoSQL database?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe the underlying architecture is a major thing, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. What they are saying is that this NoSQL is faster than NoSQL is, but what they are saying is that NoSQL is faster for typical use cases. For example, if your application is not performing many this input output, then NoSQL is faster. But your application is performing higher this input output, then it will be slower. So better stick to relational database. But what activity will have large number of this input output that we don't know,
So
and
it
it is
will it depends on the IO input output requests will
yeah,
be different.
right.
So
This
then the small web applications and these people can better go with NoSQL and it's better, right?
no, no, they not input output. They are saying this input output. The more data you are writing to your disk, no. So when we say database, your database is stored in disk. Means whether you are using NoSQL or you are using relational database, your database is stored in flat file in your disk.
Yeah.
So if your database is writing frequently to your disk, then better go to RDS. If your database is not frequently writing to NoSQL, not data to disk, then you switch to NoSQL. That is what they are saying. I haven't tested or verified it, but that is what they are saying.
Yeah. So have you got any chance to work on this as well, NoSQL?
Yeah, yeah, I work on NoSQL.
So what sort of database you are into?
MongoDB.
Mongo. Yeah, I heard this. I don't know what is this Mongo. Who is the? I don't know which
Mon-
company is doing that.
it's a open source and freeware.
Okay, so is it similar like the commands are similar to a SQL Server and those things, or much different from that?
Yeah, much different.
Okay, so it is. I mean, it is completely different from that part.
Yeah, completely different from.
So, and one more question here. So, if it is, I don't know whether you got a chance to work on any other NoSQL databases. So everything will be. See, for example, if you take MySQL and Oracle PLSQL, or if we say TSQL, almost everything is some parts are a little bit different, but many things are same, right? So if you take MongoDB and Cassandra or something, I don't know the names. There are a lot of names in market. So will that be the same? I mean, all these open source are into the same mechanism and I mean same community, towards the same community?
No, they are different. Means to control them means if you want to manage them and control them,
Okay.
that will be different. But to they will be different. They will not having same tools because the commands which you are using to manage say no say MongoDB, same commands you can't use for say Cassandra or any other thing. So they are different.
It's
Not
completely different
yeah,
smooth.
yeah,
Okay.
completely different. Yeah, completely different tools.
But so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, coming to the perspective of this database, so
Mm-hmm.
how long it would support? I mean, are the companies really, uh, I mean, believe these databases because they are open source, and I don't know how much security they were going to give, right?
Yeah, yeah, people are using them widely. Na? People are using NoSQL very widely. Now people are giving more importance or to NoSQL than RDS. Most of the new applications they are using NoSQL.
But I guess I'm not sure. If I'm not wrong, I guess the banking sector and those people will not go for this MongoDB or these things. I guess I'm not sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. The thing is that in MongoDB or not in MongoDB, when we say NoSQL, so in NoSQL it is not easy to maintain relationship between your database tables.
Oh,
So
okay. I got you.
yeah, yeah, it is not easy. So if you have got fewer tables or fewer entities, then
Okay.
you go to
So
NoSQL.
there are no complex queries or complex relationships between anything. Then it is definitely NoSQL will be the better part. I mean, you mean
Yeah,
to
yeah,
say.
right, right. Yeah.
So
So
if there
that's
are
why.
many logics and many things to grab and a lot of things are there, then it is better to go with RDBMS and using different ETL mechanisms. They are going to drag everything, right?
Yes, yes, right. So you can maintain relationship between your tables using relational databases.
Okay. So you will be teaching us this NoSQL also,
No,
MongoDB.
no, no, no. I'll not be teaching you because
Okay.
because as a developer you don't need to know these details. If you spend 3 to 4 hours, you will learn these things by yourself.
Okay,
As a
but
developer,
one more thing here, Atul.
Mhm.
Uh, if you go into AWS also, definitely you need to manage some database or server also after going there. So in that
Yeah, I
case,
told you. Yeah,
there
yeah.
might be MongoDB. We don't know whether he will ask for Cassandra or something. We don't know what he's going to do. So at least we need to be in a position that we need to give some IP address or some port numbers and configure that specific database instance, right? Server, right?
Yeah, right.
At least we need to, even though we don't go and write some code or some grab some information or something, but at least we need to be in a position to connect that AWS to that database so that the life cycle will go in a smooth manner, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you will be telling that part in this
Yes,
training.
yes, yes. Yes, yes. I'll be telling that part.
Oh, okay, okay, fine, okay. So a lot of things are there to learn. That is not very much
Yeah, yeah.
simpler as expected. We
Yeah,
can't
yeah. I
say.
mean, yeah, yeah. There are a lot many things. It
I
is sim
guess I
yeah.
think because I am having better. I mean I am having an experience, so I think I'm able
Mhm.
to have at least a 50% idea of what you were saying. So got you, but I don't know whether how a fresh graduate will come from to know everything.
Mhm. Yeah, even means that's why means I'm starting from at a very layman's level. What is cloud computing and all those things, and at a very layman's level, I'll be telling them ki, how will cloud computing benefit you. I will just cover few use cases, and let's see.
Okay, so where are you from? You are located at which place?
I'm from Pune.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So you are working with any banking sector or insurance or what sort of?
Actually, my company is a service provider. Means it's a what do you call? It's work on multiple. It works on multiple domains, not any specific domains. So my company works on multiple domains.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I work on banking for one of the projects was in banking, foreign exchange. So I have worked on there for 6 months.
Okay. So you will be part in the AWS, or you will be in somewhere around into the DevOps environment, or somewhere into the Linux platforms, or any other
Yeah,
part?
yeah. So in our company we got separate group for as a cloud group. So I am part of that cloud group.
Oh, okay.
I work on AWS, Azure, Heroku, OpenStack. Most of the providers I work on them.
Okay. So what about OpenStack? Is it? I think OpenStack is a project made by a different group of set of companies, right? Set of
Yeah,
people who are outside, and they all get together and they are trying to make it effective.
yeah, right, yeah.
Okay. So are the companies using to most extent OpenStack, or?
Yeah, company are using OpenStack, not that much, but few are using that.
Okay. So what about Azure? Azure is very much similar, pretty much similar to AWS, or Microsoft did anything different that because there is a monopoly and they will want to do differently. He don't want to make he wants to be like East and West. So is
uh,
it the
actually,
same?
Az
Is it like that?
Actually, I think Azure is little bit costlier than AWS, and it is also having less services than AWS. Basically, Azure will just give you hardware. It is not having software layer as a cloud provider, which AWS is having. So that
So
is
it is
lacking.
only giving to the part of infrastructure, right?
Yeah, right. Only
So there is no
infrastructure.
platform as a service to that Azure.
No.
Oh, then, and I think, is there any possibility for Linux to be deployed on Azure?
Yes. Of course, you can
So,
use
but
it.
Microsoft is a he doesn't like Linux, right? So, how come he's allowing to uh, deploy the Linux on his cloud environment?
No, see, when we say Microsoft and cloud, they are different. Cloud means when someone says cloud, I will be able to launch any server, irrespective of whether you are owning the platform or someone else is owning the platform. When I say cloud computing, I should be able to start any server, Windows based or Linux based. So they should provide. If they don't provide, then nobody will use Azure.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. So, I think here there is a challenging thing for Microsoft then.
Yeah, using
Okay,
Azure, you
so,
can launch
but is there
Linux.
any is he showing anything? I don't know. I don't know about much about Azure, but is he doing any favor to that Microsoft applications which are onto the Azure when compared to other Linux-based applications or Linux platforms?
Actually, I am right now we are using Azure only for launching the servers. We are not using any of their software part. We are just
Okay.
we are just using Azure for this managing the hardware part or infrastructure. So we are not using their software services. I don't think they are providing any software services like AWS is providing.
Yeah.
They are
Okay.
doing but they are doing something very fast on in cloud. I mean, at least they are doing something that I know that, but when that will be available, we are not sure.
Oh, okay. Still the research is going on, I guess.
No, they are adding some new features and services like AWS.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Got you. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm done with my session with whatever things I'm going to cover. From a person who is very new to cloud computing, who has just finished his college degree or graduation degree. So I am trying to match the content and my vocabulary to that user. He will not get
Okay.
confused. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have got something to add, you can just share that with me, which will, which will make the session to new user more effective. You can just share with me.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, yes. Yeah. Okay.
So that's it from my side. You have any questions? You can just go ahead. You can continue.
So my question is like, so the developers will be there specifically to write the scripts, to automate the scripts or to write the scripts and deploy the servers very easily, right?
Yeah. Yes. Right.
So if you have the knowledge as a developer, then it is very easy to do.
Yes.
So if at all we are not very much effective in coding skills, then do we have any opportunity to cope up on AWS or how it goes?
No, you should have some development skill that is mandatory.
Yeah, so that we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
we can perform the things well, I think. Okay.
Yeah. 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 You should know one of the languages and
So which one is very easy to learn from this? As you have shown many things. Perl, I think
the
Perl will be there, right? Perl also will be there.
which one?
Perl, Perl. Perl. There is
Pearl.
no
Pearl.
Perl. Perl is not there in your PPT, but I am telling Perl will be there as SDK.
Let me check.
Okay. So basically, I guess you started your career maybe as a developer before, right?
Mhm.
Some at least to some of the few years.
Yeah. I started it. Pearl is not there.
Oh, okay. So we have to learn any of at least one of them. If you learn, we will be very much. I mean,
Yeah.
we will be
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
confident about that, right?
Yeah, one of them will
So,
be one of them is better. If you know multiple, that is good because that will increase your that if you learn multiple
so what
languages.
is the so if you are a starter and I don't know, I am a layman, I don't know anything. So what would be the best part to learn?
The best part is go for Java.
Java. Oh, it's very
Yeah, Java is difficult, little bit difficult than other languages, but Java is widely used.
so. Yeah,
And
nowadays. Yeah,
the
go
most
ahead. Go ahead.
the most easiest one is Ruby. This is the most easiest one. I know Ruby. I work
Okay.
on Ruby. Yeah, it is the most easiest one. And Java and JavaScript, Java is little bit difficult. JavaScript is easy.
Okay.
.NET is .NET is little bit difficult. .NET and Java are different altogether is 10 ways. So don't learn both Java and .NET. Either learn Java or .NET.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Mm.
So Ruby and Ruby on Rails are same.
Yes, same.
Okay, okay. So because I know that many, I mean there are many requirements for developers on specific things like Python and Ruby. Nowadays,
Mhm.
for everything, whatever you are showing on the programming languages,
Mhm.
there are a lot of opportunities and for developers in this part.
Yeah, lot of opportunities. Lot of.
Everybody will be asking on Ruby, Python, and
Yeah, yeah,
Java.NET.
yeah. So if you know multiple languages, your CV will be more appealing. So at least I know Java, JavaScript, Ruby. So I know three of them. The rest I'm not planning to learn because everything learning, knowing everything is not easy. So at least if you keep two to three languages in your CV or in your knowledge, then that will be better.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
So any more questions, Barry?
I'm good, Shekhar. So far, I'm
Arun?
good.
Hello, Arun?
Yeah, I'm good, Shekhar.
Okay.